Hi, say hi to everybody. Say hi. mm mm Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi. Hello. Good morning. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. This is the first Sunday of the month of September. And as you may be aware, I like to give a Sunday morning message when I'm on my way to church. This morning when I woke up, I decided to give it from home before getting ready for church. So I'm going to get my family ready, but I just thought I'll give this message before I go. You see, growing up in Ghana, I was raised in a culture of competitiveness where in school we hustled our way to be the first in class. So if you were the first in class, you felt really good about it. In secondary school, you wanted to be the top of your class. But when I came to Canada, I noticed that they didn't have that competitive structure in their schools. Hardly do they put first for a student. They grade everybody, but they don't put a score of who is first and who is second. That way, they don't create that strife among the students about who is first and who is second. Unlike in Africa, where we like to put one person first and others will come second and third and stuff like that. You see, I believe that there should be a way to measure merit, who is doing good. But when we don't do it in a way that promotes healthy growth, it tends to hurt and it tends to burn out. Today, I want to just share some few scriptures with you. You see, Jesus in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 1, he asked his disciples, who is the greatest? Matthew 18, verse 1. He asked his disciples, who is the greatest? And then they gave different answers. So he looked at them and then he picked up a little kid and said, you know what? The greatest in the kingdom of God is he who is able to be like a kid, to present themselves like a kid. Such is the kingdom. My understanding of that is that kids have all this humility and gentleness and innocence and pureness. Now, in the book of Mark chapter 9 verse 33, the disciples were seen arguing among themselves. Why were they arguing among themselves? They were asking the same question. Which of us among us as disciples is the greatest? Maybe they had reason to do that. Jesus had told them he was going to die and the kingdom was going to come. So probably they wanted to know who was the greatest in the kingdom. You see, they kept arguing among themselves who is the greatest. Same as men do also argue among themselves who is the greatest. Who is the greatest of all time? We have these conversations today. Who is the GOAT, greatest of all time? Don't we? We do. The disciples were doing the same thing. They were arguing among themselves. They wanted to find out who was the greatest among them. In Luke chapter 9, verses 47, they were seen arguing among themselves again. So Jesus called them and said to them, knowing their heart, he told them, the greatest among you is the one who becomes a servant and becomes the least among you. Whatever the disciples were going through in terms of arguing among themselves about who was the greatest is something human. We all do that. We like to compare ourselves. We like to see who among us is the most beautiful. Everything we do. Look at the way we name our things. Most this, most this. We like to. In fact, man has a way of noticing differences and finding a way to put one on top of the other. So it's a human thing. But the lesson in there is that Jesus kept reminding them that the greatest among them is one who becomes the least. Now, I see the story of the disciples arguing among themselves from different ways. You see, Jesus had 12 disciples, but there were 3 who were closest to him. Peter, John, and James were closest to Jesus. They will get closer to him in his intimate moments and have time. The other 9 were not part of the 3. It is possible they may have felt that maybe these 3 were trying to be the greatest and we were not. I'm just reading meaning into that. It is possible that they were just having some power struggle, trying to figure out who will be the best among them. Remember, Jesus had also called out Peter to say that on him the church will be built, right? So it is possible that they were arguing because they wanted to see who among them was the GOAT. This is what I've come to learn. When I was growing up, I used to be very competitive. I wanted to be the first in my class. I wanted to be the first in everything. So when my friend in JSS, Joseph Asante, topped first in one subject, it will hurt me. And I suspect he also did the same thing. He was also jealous. There is nothing about striving to be the best at what you do. But you see, when pride begins to set in, at that moment, it could tend to become a toxic competition. Being great is when your greatness, your pursuit of greatness, humbles you in life. C.S. Lewis once said, you see, it is to think less of yourself. It's not to say that you are not thinking of yourself, but it's to think of others more than you think of yourself. That is what C.S. Lewis says. I understand greatness to mean that the pursuit of that which humbles you in life, not the pursuit of that which makes you feel like you are better than everybody else. Man has a tendency to be competitive. Man has a tendency to feel that he is the best. And there is nothing wrong with pursuing the gift that is inside you, to hone it at the highest level. But if that gift leads to pride, if that gift leads to make your ego big, if that gift and that skill set you have, right, and that wealth and money you have makes you feel that you are better than everybody else, then you've lost the plot. Because the plot is, he who is the greatest must be willing to be humble in spirit, in attitude, and in everything. Jesus demonstrated that to his disciples by being a master, turning to be somebody low to wash their feet, which is something that is not done in a Jewish culture. You see, the moment Lucifer was prideful and felt he was better than everybody else, he fell down. Pride brings a man down. Many Africans fight among ourselves today because you are trying to be better than the other. Musicians are fighting themselves today. Who is the best? And as to whether that competition is one that leads them to be humble in life or to rock shoulders and push the other down, it's another thing. Look in the media. Our journalists are fighting among themselves. Our politicians are fighting among themselves. Who is better? Who does this better? Our footballers and basketball players are doing the same thing. Guys, he who is the greatest is the one who is the most humble in life. Your greatness must humble you in life. Your greatness must have no room for pride. Your greatness must draw you closer to service to man, to put man before others. Not to put yourself before every other else. Your greatness must make you become more other-oriented, thinking more about others than yourself. When I pray, one of the prayers I pray is that God will humble me, so that anytime I feel I'm too wise than people, He will make me feel so stupid and foolish. You see, John the Baptist knew this so well. He taught his disciples this lesson. In the book of John chapter 3, verses 27 going, Jesus had begun his ministry. So out in Judea, he began baptizing people. His first baptism, he was baptizing. And he decided to baptize very close to where John the Baptist was also baptizing. Remember, John the Baptist was the one who baptized Jesus? Now Jesus has started his ministry. And he was baptizing right on the same side, across the side where John the Baptist was baptizing too. The disciples of John the Baptist watched, and then they saw Jesus baptizing. And then they called John the Baptist and they said, "Hey, John, look over there. There is somebody there. That's the man you baptized called Jesus. He's baptizing on the other side. He's in our territory. He's in our turf. He's baptizing. And he's taking all our people. All our people are going there and they are baptizing over there. They are not coming to us." John the Baptist scolded them and told them, "Haven't I told you this? Haven't I told you this? That is not about competition. It's not about how many people are coming to us. You missed it. He is the one I have been telling you about. He is the one who is supposed to be the greatest. He must increase for me to decrease." That's what John the Baptist told his people. Go read it. John 3 verse 27 coming down. He scolded them and told them, "Haven't I told you this? That he must increase for me to decrease." John said it's not about competition. It's not about how many people are on our side baptizing and how many are there. Today, I tell you this. The biggest reason why many of us are burning ourselves is because we are trying to outwin and outcompete everybody else. You are trying to be the most beautiful girl in that class. You are trying to be the nicest guy with a six-pack. You are trying to be the guy with that car in the neighborhood that everybody will look at. You are trying to be the one who will wear that clothes and that dress to stand out so everybody. There is nothing wrong with standing out. But what is the heart behind that pursuit? Is it one that will make you so prideful or one that will humble you? Some of us today are buying things not because we need them, but because we want to show off to people. And then we wonder why we are stressed. Because our whole mind is full of competition. Today, the restaurant over there is not worried about how they can be stepping up their game and be their best. They are more worried about competing. Guys, competition burns man. It has never made anybody. It makes you wish evil and wish anything on your other partners. There was a time when we were in Kaswa in Ghana, and I was growing up. I was with my mom, and my mom was selling in Kaswa a choba. She was selling by the roadside in Kaswa. So Monday to Sunday, my mom would go and sell banku, fufu, and kokonte by the roadside. And then there was a woman right by us called Auntie Ama. She was also selling the same thing. Truth be told, people bought her food more than they bought my mom's food. And I used to sit back and I used to worry. I said, why are there not so many people in line on my mom's side? And they are always on the other side. And I remember I used to be envious, thinking and praying and doing everything I could to help my mom get more customers. Can you imagine there were times when I used to just go walk around the woman, the other person, her house, just to see how big their pot was and what they were doing differently, just so I can come and tell my mom what they were doing. I was so competitive. I was willing to go and just spy on somebody's business to come and tell my mom. It is not about that. God has created each and every man uniquely. Psalm 33 verse 15 says that. I think it's 35 verse 15. He says he has fashioned you uniquely. You can never be the same as somebody else. Your best competition is you. Guys, the day I started stopping to think of being competitive with people, and I started pushing myself to be the best version of who I am every day, I started growing. Your growth is in you pushing yourself to be the best version of what God has blessed you with. Your growth is not in competing with your friend. Your friend is unique. Instead of being envious of their success, instead of being envious of what they have, celebrate them. Go to them and tell them you admire them. Go to them and confess to them you have admiration for them. Instead of being in your corner and praying and wishing evil on him and wishing that he will die and lose that so that you can take it. Go to him and celebrate him and let the devil be shamed. Today, who are you competing with in life? Who is your race in life? Who is that person who is stressing you that you are not able to sleep today? Who is it that you want to show off to today? I want to challenge you today to make it about you instead of somebody else. I want you to know that the best version of yourself is to focus on bringing the best inside you. When he created you, he created nobody like you. What he put inside you, there will be none to have it. What is put inside me, there will be nobody ever on the surface of this earth to have what is put inside me. He never creates the same thing twice. Everything he creates is different. Find the best version of you. You are unique. You can never be somebody. You can never be as beautiful as somebody. You can never look, no matter how you imitate, you can't be. We are all unique. Let your competition tend to an admiration. Let your competitive mindset tend to something that will be a healthy networking. Many Africans today are struggling because we are busy competing ourselves. And in the competition, we are killing ourselves in the process. We are gossiping ourselves in the process. We are wicked. We are doing all kind of evil things to ourselves just because we want to be that person. A movie star is caught trying to be the other person. The next person is trying to. There is nothing about having a role model and admiring, guys. But everything is wrong when your feeling for that person is coming from a source or a place of what? Unhealthiness. A place of wanting to take and covet. You see, sometimes all we need to do is to just be our best version. Be your best version. He did not create anybody like you. Look at me well. If you find somebody like me in this world, who looks just like me, speaks just like me, has everything I have, call me. I'll go talk to God and ask him why he did that. He's never done that in history, and he will never do it. You are unique, Zachariah Karim. You are unique, Josephine. You are unique, Oji Emmanuel Okosisi. There is none like you, Lipcase Yahweh Ngwese. Stop focusing on people to the point that it hurts and burns you. The disciples were busy focusing on themselves, asking, who is the greatest among us? Luke 9:47. Who is the greatest among us? Mark 9:33. Jesus told them, that is not it, guys. That's not it, my fellow disciples. For you to become the greatest, you must have the mindset of humility. Be humble in life. Let life humble you. Let life humble you. Because just when you think you are the king of the moment, that is when you become nothing at all in life. I pray that nothing of my friends will make me think evil for them. I pray that when I see a friend doing something beautiful, my feeling for them, my initial feeling for them, my first feeling for them will not be one of envy, but one of admiration, so that I can call that friend and say, brother, I like you for what you're doing. Keep doing that. When you do that, God is going to give you the wisdom to even be and step up your game and step up your own game too. The greatest of people are not competitive. Does Messi talk to Ronaldo? Are they the best of friends? Or they are competitive to the point they can't be friends? Does one manager talk to the other manager? Are they the best of friends? Or they are the most enemies apart? Is Whiskey talking to Davido? Are they the best of friends? Or they seen themselves in tough war? Is Shatawale and Stonebwoy, are they the best of friends? Or they are seeing themselves as competitiveness? When you compete with people, you have no sleep. You worry about them whilst they are sleeping. When you compete with people, whilst they are sleeping and yawning, you are busy plotting evil. Make man not your competition. Your best competition is you. And I tell you this, even your stars are missing the plot. I stop worrying about my friends. I don't wake up every day thinking about which Ghanaian I'm going to beat next. I don't wake up thinking about my neighborhood, my region, who I'm going to beat first next. No. That's not what I wake up to. I ask myself, what was the record I was able to break yesterday, my own record? How can I take that to the next level? Yes, that is it. I don't wake up thinking, who is the immigrant who is succeeding more than I am succeeding? I want to do better. No. I wake up and ask myself, what is there for me to achieve today that is better than what I did yesterday? If I see somebody who is doing better than me, I like to reach out to them and tell them I am celebrating you today. That is how I tame my pride. That is how I make sure I'm not even envious, by confessing to the person I admire you. Many of you today cannot even celebrate others because you are so evil in your mind with competitiveness. You can't even call a friend. You can't even call your lady friend and say, I admire you because God has made you so beautiful today. You can't. Because you feel by just telling them that. No, guys, let's take it to the next level. It's not about being competitive. It's about being the best version of you. Your admiration for people should be what you call competitiveness. Learn from people and learn what they're doing. And pray to God to give you the wisdom. Don't wish their success to be yours. You have not because you are not asking the right things in life. And because of that, you are trying to covet the success of others. James 4:2. James 4:2. I hope this message bless you. I didn't want to be driving and doing it. And as soon as I started, my daughter woke up and then tried to hijack the camera too, right? But I still delivered my message, right? And I hope this message has blessed you. And I hope that you're going to share this message to bless somebody. And I hope that Africans will learn to stop competing with each other. I hope that the business people today will learn to stop competing with each other and step up themselves to be innovative and be unique. It's all about uniqueness, not competitiveness. Let your competition be an admiration that leads to networking with that person, friendship with that person, not gaps apart and wise apart. Let Wizkid and Davido be on the same stage, celebrating each other's uniqueness. Davido can never sing like Wizkid. Wizkid can never sing like Davido. Sarkodie can never perform like another person. Shatta Wale can never be like Stonebwoy. May they learn to celebrate the uniqueness of each other instead of hurting themselves behind the scene. When we celebrate each other, we are not going to pull a gun on one person one day because we are scared of their shine. The universe has many more space for so many stars. How many stars do we have up there? How many stars do we have up there? There is still room for many more stars. Some of you think you are the only stars and you should be the only stars. Huh? Sorry for you. That is a shallow mindset. The universe and the galaxies have space for billions of stars and it will never run out. Being a star or being in a spotlight does not mean others must have theirs dimmed. There is room for everybody. There is room for everybody. God bless you. This is Choco Millionaire. If you did enjoy my session, hit the like button. Drop your comment. If you did enjoy this Sunday morning inspiration, share with your friends. Share on your WhatsApp groups. Share on your social media. Let it be a blessing to others. Please do follow me as well on my YouTube, Choco Millionaire. And remember, God created you uniquely. He fashioned you uniquely. Psalm 35 verse 15 says so. I think it's Psalm 33 verse 15 that says so. He fashioned you uniquely. There is none like you. Nobody will ever be like you. Even twins are not the same. Don't look to compete. The best imitator is the worst person in life. You can never be somebody. You are you. The greatest among us is the one who is not prideful, but is humble in life. God bless you. All right, thank you. Talk to you another time. Bye-bye.